Nancy Showalter, Platinum. Can you comment on, we talk about the demographics, and the biggest demographic, like you say, are the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
But I notice that all the top earners are the young ones.
Well,
I mean, it's just an observation.
okay.
And I just wondered if you could comment on that, because because before I heard, baby boomers was the biggest thing, I was thinking it might be better to market toward the younger people because they seem to really produce.
So you mean you can make more residual income?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, they just seem to be bigger producers.
Well, let's think about that for a second. So who do we have? We've got Darren Selkeld. Darren is, I believe, in his 40s, late 30s, early 40s. John Chow, don't tell him I said this, but he's older than we might think. John is how old? No, he's not. He looks young, but he's... Did someone say 70? He's not 70. John did, I think, now I might be wrong, I might get myself in trouble for this, but I'm pretty sure I saw on Facebook, he turned either 50 or 60. Yeah. He's in his 50s. So John Chow has made millions of dollars. Shakir, obviously 27. Bill and Michelle Pesco-Solita, they would be 40. Chris and Susan Beasley, 60s, 70s, late 60s, 64. They've made 150 grand. And in their first 12 months, they crossed $100,000. They're in their 60s, and they're just so relatable. Like I said today, they're going to have a much stronger connection than some young guy. Yep. So I mean, we could keep on going on, but here's what I think about that. When you're building your business in MOBE, don't get too caught up focusing on the 5% residual income that your team is going to produce. And I'll tell you why. You can't control what other people are going to do. So you can't control that. And as much as you try and motivate a lot of your team members, some of them, they're just not going to do any work. And I learned this the hard way, because in 2009, when I got started out, I got my first few sales at the end of that year, and then in 2010, I started building up a team. And I think I had about 15 people on my team by the end of 2010, and I stopped promoting the business. I started putting all my attention on doing webinars and training, because I thought, well, if I can get all of them earning, then I'll start getting a lot of residual income, and I'll be able to sit back, and it'll just grow by itself. And it doesn't quite work like that in this industry, because the fact is, most people just are not going to do the work. They're not going to be that serious. And no matter how much you try and change that, you're not going to ever change that. You can't control that. Your responsibility is not to make other people successful. Your responsibility is to lead by example, and if they choose to follow you, great. But if not, you're not the person who's got to go and save everyone. I used to think that I had to go and save everyone, and I used to waste hours and hours doing meetings and trying to say, do this, do that. And the very next week, they hadn't done a single thing. So I changed my stance, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to lead by example. I'm going to show them what I'm doing, and if they want to follow along, great. And some did, and they became top earners in MOBE. They did very well in the industry, and some didn't. So it's better that you focus on your personal production. Those are people on your front line, sales that you make yourself, rather than hoping that you're going to get some person who's going to go and make $10 million and you're going to make a 5% residual. Yeah, I know you weren't thinking that, but...
Thinking so much is residual, as much as just they're interested, they're hungry. There'd be good good people to recruit. That's all I found
that even people who are young, 20s, 30s, a lot of them are lazy, especially in their 20s. I learned that the hard way. I thought, I'm in my 20s, I'll try and get other people in their 20s to take this seriously. No, they're the worst.
Okay, well, that's good. That's why I was wondering your perspective. Thank you.
Okay.